Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to Cruisnick's Purgatory. I'm your host, Cruisnick X, and we are blazing our way through the path of quest lines for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. In this episode, we will be working with White Mage, who I gotta say has gone through some considerable changes. Let's start off with the gear. As you can see, I am wearing the level 80 artifact gear, the weathered Embers attire, and it comes complete with thigh boots, skirt, armlets, robe, and hood. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite of all the White Mage gear. If I had one gripe, it'd definitely be the hood, which is why I am going to hide it, because I look a lot better without it. Alongside the ensemble is our level 80 White Mage artifact, the weathered Tistria. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Let me just link that. Oh yeah, I gotta add it to a let's put it in Cruisnick's Sanctum. That way we'll actually get somewhere with it. There we go. Yeah, Tistria. There we go. And I gotta say, this is probably one of the most beautiful staffs I've ever had the pleasure of utilizing. But enough about that. I've wasted too much time on the previous episode, so I gotta kind of blaze through this. So, let's talk about, first and foremost, changes in terms of healers. Now, let's start off with the role abilities, the role actions. Now, the first and foremost change is, of course, everyone that you either love or you hate, but it's the removal of Protect. And I gotta say, sometimes it can get annoying, especially, like I said in the Path of the Scholar level 80 video, that I had a hard time letting people know that I was still rusty in healing. I mean, White Mage fully compensates on that end of things, and for that I am very glad that it does. So Protect isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is kind of a minor annoyance. Alongside Protect, Break, Largesse, Cleric Stance, and Eye for an Eye have all been removed. As for what we get in terms of healer actions, we still get 6. We get 6 roll actions. At level 8, you get Repose, which afflicts the target with sleep for 30 seconds and cancels auto attack upon execution. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because if you hit an enemy afterwards, they lose sleep. At level 8 and level 10, you get Asuna, which removes a single detrimental effect from target. At 18, you get Swift Cast, which for 10 seconds the next spell is cast immediately, has a 60-second recast time. It's good to have. Lucid Dreaming at level 24, which has a 1-minute recast time, and gradually restores your own MP. Great to have when you're in a jam. Surecast at level 44, which allows you to cast spells without interruption, and nullifies most knockback and draw-in effects for 6 seconds. Great to have if you're in an enemy that you know is about to knock you back. And finally, the most annoying of all the healer ability roll actions, the level 48 ability Rescue, with a 150-second recast time, instantly draw target party member to your side, can't be used outside of combat, or when target is suffering from certain enfeeblements. I will hate on this ability. It's a double-edged sword for me. I will hate on it to the ends of the earth, and sometimes I will love it. But all in all, very annoying ability, especially when you're casting. Anyways, let's move on to the job changes, because now, first and foremost, the job has changed considerably now that the gauge now so now the lily doesn't work in conjunction with your healing. Instead, the healing gauge will add a lily to it for every 30 seconds you're engaged in combat, up to a maximum of three lilies. I might as well say that now. I'm probably going to say it again later, but I figured I'd say it now just to get it out of the way. Let's talk about stuff we lost. The only thing now, White Mage didn't lose much, but they did lose something, and that is the AoE arrow 3. I think that, honestly, that was the most annoying part of White Mage. That is the most annoying loss, I should say, because I personally liked Arrow 3 because it made dealing damage a whole lot easier and a whole lot more manageable, especially when I could cast Arrow 3 on a huge mob of enemies and just get through it. So I really do miss Arrow 3. Will they possibly bring it back in the future? Who knows? We'll see how things progress. Let's talk about current ability changes. The Lily effect for Cure has been removed. The level 15 ability Fluid Aura now has a range of 25 yalms as opposed to 5 yalms. Its knockback effect has been removed and replaced with a bind effect for a duration of 6 seconds. The potency of the level 35 ability spell Regen has been increased from 150 to 200, and the duration of it has been reduced from 21 seconds to 18 seconds. But it's still an instant cast, still has a 500 MP cost. It's pretty alright. The potency of Holy. Where is Holy? Where is it? There it is. The potency of the level 45 spell Holy has now been increased from 150. Now it had Holy now has a potency of 140. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. Holy has now been reduced from 200 in potency to 140 in potency, with an addition. It still has the additional effect of stun. It still targets all nearby enemies, but to compensate for the reduce in potency, damage fall off has been removed. So go nuts with that spell. I approve. The potency for the level 46 spell Arrow 2 has been increased from 50 to 60, and the dot potency has been increased from 50 to 60 as well. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so, the potency of the level 50 spell Medica 2. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Has now been increased from 50 to 100, and the healing over time duration has been reduced from 30 to 15 seconds. Medica 2 is still my go-to in terms of mass healing. I personally love it, so I don't care what anybody else thinks. The level 52 ability Asylum now has an additional effect from a level 78 trait. We will talk more about that later. The level 52 trait Secret of the Lily, as I mentioned before, adds a lily to your healing gauge now for every 30 seconds you are engaged in combat, up to a maximum of 3 stacks. At level 54, the level 54 ability, the level 54 spell, Stone 3, now has a potency of 240, increased from its original 210. You now gain the ability Thin Air at level 58 as opposed to level 62. The potency of the level 64 spell Stone 4 is now increased from 250 to 280. The potency of the level 66 spell ability Divine Benison is now 500 rather than 15% of the target's maximum HP. Cannot talk today. And finally, in terms of current ability changes, the level 70 ability Planetary Indulgence grants confession to self and all nearby party members. Upon receiving HP recovery by a Medica 2, or Cure 3 cast by yourself, it will trigger an additional effect. The cure potency is 200, and the duration is 10 seconds. Let's move on to some new abilities, shall we? Well, I'm stuttering up a storm. At level 52, you now gain the ability Afflatus Solace, one of my favorites to try out. This has a range of 30 seconds. It's an instant cast with a 2.44 second recast time. It restores the target's HP with a cure potency of 700, and it nourishes the Blood Lily. It has a cost of 1 lily. At level 72, you gain the spell Dia. Let me try that again. At level 72, you gain the traits Arrow Mastery and Arrow Mastery 2 and Stone Mastery 4. Arrow Mastery 2 upgrades Arrow 2 to Dia, which deals unexpected damage with a potency of 120. It also has an additional effect of unexpected damage over time with a potency of 60 and a duration of 30 seconds. Stone Mastery 4 upgrades Stone 4 to Glare, which deals unexpected damage with a potency of 300. This is what... Now, let me just say right here, this is what I like about level 80 White Mage. All the spells it has now as a level... All the spells you have now as a level 80 White Mage now look and feel like they're actual white magic and not just glorified conjurer spells, if you get what I mean. But anyway, let's continue. At level 74, you gain the spell Afflatus Misery, that has a range of 25 yalms, a radius of 5 yalms, is an instacast with a 2.44 second recast time. This spell deals unexpected damage with a potency of to target and all enemies nearby it with a potency of 900 for the first enemy, 10% less for the second, 20 less for the third, 30 less for the fourth, 40 less for the fifth, and 50 less for all remaining enemies. This can only be executed when the Blood Lily is in full bloom. At level 74, you also gain the trait Transcendent Afflatus, which adds a Blood Lily to the healing gauge that blooms after 3 uses of Afflatus Solace or Afflatus Rapture. Speaking of Afflatus Rapture, that's what we get at level 76. Afflatus Rapture is a healing spell with a 20 yalm radius. It's an instant cast with a 2.44 second recast time, and it restores your own HP and the HP of all nearby party members with a potency of 300. It also nourishes the Blood Lily, and its healing cost is 1 Lily. At level 78, we gain the trait Enhanced Asylum, which adds an additional effect to Asylum that increases the HP recovery via healing actions by 10%. Finally, at level 80, you gain the ability Temperance, which increases healing magic potency by 20% while reducing damage taken by self and all party members within a radius of 30 ohms by 10%. Let's show this bad boy off because I love this. You finally get your wings. Drink a Red Bull. That was a bad joke. Anyway, it is an instant cast and it has a 2-minute recast time. So do use it as often as you can. Anyways, with that being said, let's move on to the quest line. We have done a lot with White Mage. We saved the 12's Wood from certain destruction on several occasions. We've met with new Pajals and helped them on their journey. We've reunited with old friends. We've basically run through a whole range of quests. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I've been dreading talking to Raya-O for quite some time because I know she likes to ramble. Let's just hope she doesn't talk that much. Let's get right down to it with the level 80 quest, Whence the Healing Springs.
Chris, how fare you in your studies of the white? I sense your magics have grown even stronger since we last met. Speaking of old acquaintances, do you recall Alaka, the Ori girl responsible for the taint and its corruption? As a form of atonement, she's begun training in the art of conjuring. Mayhap you could stop by Stillglade Fane and look in on her for me. I am sure she would be glad of the visit. You might also come across Gatti whilst you're in town. Considering her unorthodox upbringing, my fellow Pajal has been given leave to roam somewhat more freely than might otherwise be allowed. Do give my regards to her and Sophie should you see them.
Alright, off to the Conjurer's Guild. Stillglade Fane, here we come. Thank the 12, it's simply a hop, skip, and a jump from here. It takes forever to teleport, though. And here we are. Oh, I passed Alaka here.
Chris, Raya-O-Senna sent you to see me. Ha, I thought as much. I did not imagine you would seek me out of your own accord, considering how I once wished you dead. But I promise I have changed. I am doing as they ask of me. At least, I am trying to. My attempts at curing spells are abysmal. I perform the exercises as the Seed Seer has taught me, but it would seem I am unsuited to the healing arts. Being an outsider, it is difficult for me to make friends here. Although there are 2 young ladies who do seem eager to include me in their chatter.
Well, would you look at that?
Alaka! I didn't know you knew Chris. Were you two talking about your adventures? I want to hear about adventures. Oh, me too, me too! Can we stay and listen? I suppose. If Chris doesn't mind. Great! What kind of tale will you tell?
A tale of a man who crossed time and space to save the world. And me.
He must truly care for you, which I can completely understand. What a lovely story. I want to be able to do that, to protect people, but I'm probably going to need a lot more training. Then why don't we all go and train right now, together, and we can work on becoming just like the person Chris told us about. Yes, that's a wonderful idea. Alaka, you and Chris both have to come with us. It'll be so much more fun with the four of us.
If you insist.
I say we head out to the hedge tree and practice listening to the whispers of the forest. Come on, everyone, follow me.
The hedge tree, huh? I haven't gotten any of the Mount Speed boost books for the Black Shroud. Though, at least I'm level 80, so nothing hostile will mess with me. Wait. Oh, whoops, the hedge tree's over there. This is the guardian tree. Whoops. I just padded out the episode with a derp. Maybe I should focus on hunts a lot more. I keep forgetting the hedge trees down here. Near Tamtera.
Chris, the Ixal, they stabbed a sword into the hedge tree. The elementals really didn't like that. And before we knew it, we were being attacked by a treant. It must be some sort of revenge on Gridania. The Ixal are trying to cause panic or chaos or... Gaddy wanted to try calming the spirits, so we led Mr. Smashy Branches here away. I only just managed to take it down. My own conjury was too weak to be of consequence. Sophie was forced to expend too much ether to ensure the creature's defeat. Don't worry about me. It's Gaddy who needs help. The elementals were furious, and there's no way she can soothe their anger alone. Please, hurry, Chris. She needs you.
Alright, let's move. Holy balls. Oh yeah, the elementals are...
Chris, thank goodness! I pulled out the sword, but the elementals lashed out. They won't listen to me. Please, you have to calm them. If another one of those treants goes after Sylvie and Alaka...
Very well.
Catty, you look hurt. I want to hear you, but I've no ether left to cast spells. Alaka, you'll have to do it. Me? But I cannot. You must. Can't you see she's in pain? I want to help, but my conjury is so weak. I will try. No one should suffer so. Thank you, Alaka. I feel so much better now. Your healing was like being trapped in a soft, warm blanket. I am glad to hear that, Catty. To be honest, I did not expect the spell to work at all, but it did.
And all set.
And thank you too, Chris. I never knew the elementals could get that mad. Phew! I have a long way to go before I'm as strong as you. Phew is the word for it. I think Brother Izumi owes us a reward after all that hard work. Oh, Sylvie. Alaka! I don't think I've ever seen you laugh before. This day really has been full of surprises.
They're so nutty.
Thank you, Chris. If you hadn't come along, I may have lost the first real friends I've ever had. That's what Chris does. He's always our hero when we need one. That's right. In fact, both of you were heroes today. I would hardly say I was heroic. I'm serious. We need to tell Brother Izumi how incredible your conjury is now. Again, I think you praise me overmuch. But we should certainly report this incident and let him know you are safe and sound. Let's head back then. I think I'm ready for a cup of tea and a nice long nap. Chris, I may just find my place here after all.
Well, that's good.
Listening to your tale earlier, I was convinced there was no one in my life I cared about that much, or who cared about me. Then I saw how Gatti was hurt. I'd never felt my heart beat so wildly. Never felt such relief as I did when my spell healed her. I wonder, was this how the people in your adventures felt too? I will continue with my studies, and then should you need me, should any of you need me, I will be ready. Would you mind letting Raya-O know of my decision to stay on? I am a little embarrassed to display all this sentiment in front of the seeds here.
I'd rather talk to Ixumian. But okay. We will speak with Raya-O-Senna. Oh. No, wait. Next bridge. Can we get something to fix this jump? I mean, really.
Chris, you have returned to me with word of Alaka? Ah, I was of a mind to investigate the disturbance myself when it suddenly subsided. 'Twas fortunate you were nearby. And I am heartened to hear that Alaka has at last awakened her talent for conjuring. I suspected it was not her potential nor lack of learning which stymied her progress, but a matter of confidence. Her shift in perspective was encouraged in no small part by your inspiring presence, I am certain. But do not allow such praise to deter you from perfecting your own art. The mastery of white magics is a road which never truly ends, Chris. I expect to hear ever greater things from you ere next we meet.
And with that, we've unlocked the achievement Seeing White, and with it, a brand new title is in our midst. Huh? Oh, there it is. We are now First Blessed, Chris Valentine. I cannot wait to get through the rest of these. The next job I have to do is Ninja, and then Dark Knight, and then Machinist. But I have more important things to worry about, like the new patch coming in a couple of days. But I need some sleep anyway. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of Cruise Next Purgatory. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button. Be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for access to exclusive live streams and videos. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode when it comes out in the next expansion, and click here to watch the original Stormblood ending. Until next time, Cruise X, signing out.